literally 1984 in America if this law passes. And that's the Parents Decide Act, which has been introduced to the House committee 3 days ago. It hasn't passed yet, it's in its early stages, and that's why I want to talk about it, because now is the chance to get rid of this law. If we make enough noise, they are gonna get rid of this law. Okay? And basically, this is an age verification law on the federal level. We had to worry about the Californian age law, all the other states that wanted to introduce an age verification law. But now we have to worry about it on a federal level. And, I'm not from the US. I've never been to the US. But this shit is important. This has ripple effects. If this passes, the rest of the world is going to feel the consequences. I'm going to tell you that, okay? And that's why I think I need to make noise. And I want to get you to make noise. If you're an American especially, go talk to your representative right now. Hold a gun to their head and be like, don't vote for this motherfucker. Okay, no, don't. Just tell them, be nice on the phone. Don't be confrontational. That's not going to help you in that case. Just like tell them, hey, this law is stupid. It's a privacy hazard. It's a stepping stone to a surveillance state. Please don't vote for this. Okay? Because this really is a privacy hazard, a draconian law at this point, okay? Because it's a stepping stone to a surveillance state. And to some point, America is even a surveillance state with Palantir doing all that shit, okay? They just want to push it further into that direction. But what does this law actually say? Here we have the text, okay? The bill. It's not long. You can read it yourself. I'm not going to read all of it here. You can read it yourself. I read it myself as well. I'm going to link to it in the description below. Anyway, there are a few couple points that I need to talk about though. Okay, and that's to require operating system providers. Please keep that in your memory. Operating system providers to verify the age of any user of any operating system and for other purposes. Required age verification for users of operating systems. Requirements. An operating system provider with respect to any operating system of such provider shall carry out the following. Require any user of the operating system to provide the date of birth of the user in order to set up an account on the operating system and use the operating system. If the relevant user of the operating system is under 18 years of age, require a parent or legal guardian of the user to verify the date of birth of the user. Develop a system to allow an app developer to access any information as is necessary to collect the operating system to carry out this section and any regulation promulgated under this section to verify the date of birth of a user of an app of the app developer. Okay. Anyway, this is basically the Californian law. Okay, the law that passed in California. So basically, API key is all you need, like the operating systems that are planning to implement this or have already implemented this. There's basically you enter your date of birth, they store it as an API key, and then any app can just access that if they want to. It has been discussed a lot, to death, where that system is just bad for privacy reasons, for security reasons, and surveillance reasons, because this is a stepping stone. You think they're really going to stop at this? No, if this passes and they don't get enough of a backlash, they're going to keep doing this shit until we cannot even do anything anymore, until we are completely fucked in every regard. And here they also have definitions in this section. And I want to go over these two definitions because they're very, very important when talking about this. Operating system. The term operating system means software that supports the basic functions of a computer, mobile device, or any other general purpose computing device. So this is a very, very broad definition that goes over, mobile phones, computers, laptops, calculators even could fall under this. Like, there's so many systems, so many devices that could fall under this. Your smartwatch could fall under this. Okay? But, and your BIOS, bro, your BIOS could fall under this. Your BIOS is a piece of software that runs on your computer that supports basic functions. So that BIOS could actually be, quote unquote, counting as an operating system with this definition. And then here, operating system provider. This is also important. The term operating system provider means a person that develops, license, or controls the operating system on a computer, mobile device, or any other general purpose computing device. This is super important because they are talking about a person, not a company, not a whatever. They are talking about a person, which means that any distro developer falls under this. It means that, because as well here, a person that develops, license, or controls the operating system on a computer. This is also, what the fuck do they mean with controls the operating system on a computer? I am controlling the operating system on my computer. If I wanted to, I could stop any updates on my Linux distro. Okay, I'm using Arctic, by the way. And I could stop any updates, and I could just manually update whatever I want. I could manually install all the packages that I want. In that case, I would be the controller of my operating system. These definitions are so vague that anybody could fall under this. And I feel like they are purposely doing this so that they could, if somebody, let's say, has an operating system that has age verification built in, but they modify that operating system, basically create their own fork where they remove this. In that case, if you got caught, they could use this definition probably to accuse you of being an operating system provider, so that you have, that you're obligated to have an age verification method in your operating system. Because you are somebody who controls that operating system. So not even if you yourself made a fork for your own private use could get rid of that. Isn't that crazy? They're really, really trying to make this 1984. This country, the US, they want to make it 1984. And to me, it's insane. I've also heard doomer takes saying like, oh yeah, I am not gonna use the internet anymore after this point. I'm just gonna be a digital nomad. A nomad in general, not just digital. Or like I'm gonna live in the woods. Shut the fuck up. You're not gonna do that. Fuck off. First of all, it's performative because you're gonna use the internet. Second of all, that's what they want you to do. Do you really think? Or like, do you really think that's gonna do shit? Because, first of all, the internet is a invaluable resource for the common man. It has given us so much power, so much knowledge. I mean, how much government corruption has been exposed to the common people just through the internet? How much information has been shared through the internet? It's an invaluable resource that connects us all, that gives us power to inform ourselves, to gather without having a physical spot. Because if we gather somewhere physical, they can just beat the shit out of us or kill us if they wanted to. On the internet, that's harder to do. if you have a law like this, it just becomes easier. Okay, so to any doomer that's like, oh, I'm just gonna abandon this, no, you're running away, bro. We need to use this. We need to use this resource as long as we can. The internet is a resource to fight against stuff like this. My video is a fight against this. Now you might be like, oh, that's what is it? That sounds retarded. That's like what is it called? Internet activism. It doesn't do shit. It does do shit, man. If we are loud enough, because for example, if I inform, like, let's say 10 people on this that didn't know about this beforehand, and then they contact their representative, that did something. And if 1,000 people like me do that, that's 10,000 people who contact their representative. I'm just saying that you need to use these resources as long as you can. We are still in an age where we can use the internet to our benefit, where we can still use the internet as this resource against this tyrannical government, where we can still freely share information between us. And I am saying still, because I don't know how long that's going to be the case with something like this. How long can we do this? Is it a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? It doesn't matter. We should act now. Anyway, I hope this doesn't pass, obviously. Yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye.